YouTube has been having secret meetings with preferred creators over the past year, maybe even longer, in order to figure out an alternative way to censor certain content. According to this blog that somebody sent to me, the process of demonetizing videos is pretty straightforward, but the person who is reviewing the video can flag it for any reason outside of the many reasons that are already listed. This information was obtained by a couple of anonymous sources, but their evidence seems to match up to what we have been hearing for the past few months. I was provided with a few images that I think are at least interesting enough to show some of you. Ask yourself, would you feel uncomfortable watching the video in a public space with the volume on? This is how the page greets you as you start your reviewing process. I suppose it's a decent barometer for what is appropriate. To save you some time, I won't read through each category individually, but each category reads like you would imagine. Most of the categories are straightforward, and they have reasonable guidelines. One category does stand out, however, which is marked controversial. This is where the biases of the reviewer really come into play. In addition to any of the above categories, please tell us whether the video content contains a subject or subjects that the viewers are likely to find offensive, disrespectful, or otherwise controversial. A short but not complete list of topics include content promoted by extreme political or religious groups, content intended to promote prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism of a specific group or people, content that is otherwise very creepy or disgusting, other sensitive topics. The next reads as follows. Please don't use personal biases when evaluating this category, which, of course, is to imply that it's okay to use biases everywhere else. Specifically, the following content is not considered sensitive due to the topic itself. It should be considered sensitive if there are other reasons to do so per the above instructions, such as antagonism against these groups. Does not include content made by or about LGBT, LMNOP, content about minorities or protected groups such as African Americans, disabled people, immigrants, respectfully presented content about mental health topics, and content respectfully discussing social topics like women's equality, racial justice, or poverty. By the way, I did omit a few of the words in my narration to avoid the video automatically getting flagged. There are certain trigger words, and it's difficult to tell which words cause it to automatically get flagged. Demonetized videos get throttled by the algorithm, which makes them much less accessible. In this slide, a little later on, you can see the option to check other potentially problematic content, where you can write in your own reason for flagging the video. Finally, at the bottom, it has the no sensitive content area, where it says select this option when the video does not contain any material from the sensitive categories described above or any other offensive, disrespectful, or otherwise controversial content. It also reminds the reviewer at this space, be sure that you feel comfortable watching the video in a public place with the volume on before selecting no sensitive content. Now that you are familiar with how these videos are considered sensitive, you can now create your videos with these rules in mind. For a long time, as somebody who makes videos myself, I just wanted to know what the rules were. When videos are flagged, you are not told why, but given a vague email. Recently, a video of a short compilation of President Trump that I made was demonetized and found to be unfriendly towards advertisers, which is a great example of how vague these rules really are. What's worse than the demonetizations is that the videos are buried, following the dreaded yellow dollar sign. The video will get about 20 to 40% of the traffic of a normal monetized video. This makes sense, as you would imagine that YouTube wants to show off as many ads as possible and therefore would prioritize the videos that have ads on them to suggest to people. This is why YouTube will not recommend or promote videos that don't have ads on them, at least not from what I have seen. This is not so much a financial issue as it is a throttling and censorship issue. I want my videos to still be seen, but once they are demonetized, they tend to get maybe 10,000 more views tops, even after getting a review and after being reinstated. I wish this was just as simple as begging for shekels, but we actually need a new platform. A platform with a positive relationship between it and the creators that are making it thrive.